Well, Monday there was good and there was bad. Personally, I like the good more. As over at DeMarcoSports.com, I cashed in with yet another raise to bar 20 release. The Cleveland Cavaliers, who only covered by 180 against Miami last night. What a pathetic first round performance by the Heat, but that's why they were a playing team in the first place. So that means I'm on a 9-4 run, I believe, over the last week and a half over there with the premium plays. Here, of course, I told you I had a play on the Golden State Warriors last night. It wasn't as strong as the previous day's release on Minnesota against the Lakers, but went with them. And once again, in this postseason, another game that came down to that half point, 1 point margin. Just crazy. This series, you think about the Denver Clippers series, and that's the game I'm going to be talking about in a moment. When you think about the Pistons Knicks series, I don't remember a first round where we've had so many games coming down either to the final possession or by that half point to 1 point margin. So it was a loser, but still here on the video report, 49-21 roll with the complimentary plays dating back to October, hitting 29 of my last 42. And again, I'm going to talk about game number 5 of the Clippers Nuggets series here in just a moment. Today, obviously, I'm late here with the video report, guys. Life gets in the way. Running these sites is a pain in the ass at this point. And I can only encourage you to subscribe down there in the corner. Click the button because that way you'll be notified when I do have a video. And as I said, I'm going to try to do this throughout the NBA playoffs here for you. So again, hit that little subscribe button if you're interested. Okay, with all that being said, let's start talking about this game here tonight where Denver and the Clippers, of course, 3 of those 4 in that series have been decided on the final possession. And yet, I look at this series and I think the Clippers are still the superior team. One thing that I think definitely benefits them, and I talked about this in relation to the Minnesota Lakers game a couple of days ago, where I thought the aging team with little bench strength and productivity, the Lakers, would be harmed the most by that game being just 1 day difference than the previous game. Well, here you have a kind of a different scenario because these two teams played on Saturday. So both teams benefit from the extra day. But I think it's even more important in the Clippers case because who are their two main guns? Leonard and Harden. And these guys obviously play big minutes, and at their age, every extra day rest certainly comes into play. Harden more for his age, Leonard because, of course, coming back from all those knee issues that really have hampered him the past couple of years. Now, the key in this series, again, has been the fact that the Clippers bench has simply outperformed Denver's. And Denver, which doesn't get much production from its bench anyway, may be without Russell Westbrook for a third or second straight game. He missed game number 4. They won. Listen, and with Westbrook, you give and you take. The defensive play in game number 1, but you just never know what you're going to get. But the fact is, Denver doesn't have a lot to give when it comes to the bench. So I'm going to go here with the Clippers. I'm not surprised they're a 1.5 point favorite at all here. I mean, you got to consider this is a Denver team that's 2-3 against the spread as a home underdog this year. They haven't often found their way in this position, and 18-24-1 overall ATS. And if memory serves me correctly, I don't believe the Clippers have lost back-to-back games straight up since like March, middle of March, around March 19th, that area. It's a pretty damn consistent team here, one that ended the regular season on a roll. A lot of people will talk about the total. Let me just tell you a couple of total tidbits that I happened to find when handicapping this game. All 4 of these games, of course, have stayed under in this series, 9-2-1. The under has been dominant in the last dozen meetings. And you can see in this series, because of the tempo that these two teams play at, why it has trended under. Because you've only got an average of 91 possessions in the game for both teams combined. Again, though, I still, I'm not a totals player, but I came across those facts and I figured I'd pass them on to you. But again, I'm going to go with the Clippers. Now, baseball. Let's dip into baseball here for a second. The Yankees, minus 105 on the run line at Baltimore. They lost last night 4-3, but I like them to rebound here today. Rodon is coming off two straight strong starts at Cleveland and Tampa. 13 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 run, and 17 Ks in those two outings. Um, I look at Baltimore here and I see a team that doesn't hit, which is surprising when you look at the talent in that lineup. But they're 25th in the majors at hitting it with a collective team batting average of 224. And a lot of times that's a deceiving mark because you have to look at the home road split. So I delved into that. And, at home, they're 23rd in the majors in batting at 237. So I can't exactly say their split is impressive, right? And tonight they're going with Kyle Gibson because they're a pitching poor team and Kyle Gibson has an arm. That's basically it. I mean, Kyle Gibson, if you look at his numbers the last 4 years, go back 4 years ago and 3 years ago, he was pitching for the Phillies. His ERA was 5.09 and 5.05 in those two seasons. And then last year, 4.24 earned run average, 4.73 prior to that. I mean, yes, he makes a lot of starts. He made 30 starts for St. Louis last year. He works innings, which 169.2 innings. You're going to get that, but you're going to get a lousy performance most times. 4.24 earned run average last year. And as I said, 2 years ago with Baltimore, in fact, I think it was 33 starts and a 4.73 earned run average. And his whip has been between 1.29 and 1.35 each of the past 4 seasons. Yes, he's an innings eater. However, keep this in mind. He could not find a job until late in March. So, late start, couple of minor league tune-ups, and here they've already promoted him. It doesn't really matter how deep Gibson goes anyway. I don't think he's going to go that deep because then you also have to factor in the Baltimore bullpen, which has a 4.74 earned run average. So I also like the Yankees on the run line. Of the two plays, I think the Clippers are the stronger selection, but the Yankees are your freebie in baseball too. With that said, I wish you well, guys, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.